Today, Wally Samuel walks through what used to be the girls' playground with his son Ed at the former Alberni Indian Residential School. He was just 8 years old when he was forced to come here from his village of Ahousaht on the west coast. But he says the horrific memories are as vivid as if they just happened yesterday.
I came from a village where I was free to do what I want. But when we got here, it was like it's like coming to a prison or jail, you know. We under so many rules, changed our clothing, cut our hair, you know, and weren't allowed to visit our relatives, especially the female relatives on this side. We had cousins and sisters on this side. We weren't allowed to visit them. It was lonesome, you know, taken out of your village, out of your family.
But despite all odds and not being able to talk with females while at the school, Wally met his future wife Donna at AIRS. They had a family and are still together after all these years. And together they've worked hard to try and heal.
After we got out of here, we just worked. We worked and worked, kept our minds on the job. And luckily we had cultural people from our communities that re-taught us, revived our culture. They said, you know it, because they knew me as a kid at home. They helped us relearn our culture. That made us stronger, being proud of who we are.
But Wally says what took place here still continues to haunt him.
And we were forced to do things. That was the hard part, being forced to do things, practice things they wanted us to. You know, as kids, we enjoyed our lifestyle at home there. Never ever got forced to do anything. So it was the environment here. It was very violent and abusive. The supervisors were mean. They didn't give a hell about us, you know. We were like their prisoners.
Like so many others APTN has talked to, kids at residential schools were always in survival mode.
The food wasn't very good, wasn't very much. In fact, there was a furnace here, garbage burning furnace. Me and my friends used to steal potatoes and roast our potatoes with the garbage. That's how we kept food. You know, and we'd go out to the reserve and steal apples, and we'd be stealing food. I just realized why we were doing that. We were hungry all the time, eh?
And with the news that the Ahousaht First Nation have discovered that 67 kids died at the school and have uncovered 17 suspected unmarked graves on the property after searching just 12%, Wally, who is part of the advisory team, says there is still a lot to uncover.
We advised ground searchers to look there in the hills, and there's a little farm down here we asked them to look at, and, you know, so.
Did you hear stories about kids going missing when you were here?
No, not while I was here, no. I never heard any, you know. We never really noticed it. We thought maybe they went home, you know. So some people did come and go, you know, but I'm not saying it didn't happen. It happened.
For Wally's son Ed, he says he is very proud of his parents and all the survivors for their courage to tell their stories.
We're being allowed the time and space to keep our culture alive, to keep and honor our parents and all the survivors' truth. And that's what I want to pass on to my children and grandchildren, is allow that time and space for them to be free like my dad had before he came here. The freedom to be out in nature, the freedom to have a happy life.
And for Wally, he says it's time the world knows what happened to so many at residential schools in Canada.
You know, I'm really glad we're starting to see the light. Too bad we had to prove it this way. You know, many of our fellow survivors told these stories, and some people didn't believe us. So hopefully it'll help bring more truth out.
Tina House, APTN National News, Port Alberni.